And Mike, can you speak loudly or?
I think so.
Okay.
What's better for your audio?
This is great. You're okay with
Free with it. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. Everyone can hear me okay? Is this a good volume? Thumbs down if you have trouble hearing me. Nobody? Okay. Well, it's great so many people here from so many different organizations. Really important struggle. I know that after this is wrapped, we're going to try to pack the room. It seems like they have some seating set up for us. They would like us to sit in, so we want to try to take the seats that are available inside so that other people can be overflow. And because there's some media here, I'm just going to read a short press statement. My name is Mike Preisner. I'm an organizer with the organization About Face Veterans Against the War, and I have 2 young children who will be entering the Portland public school system very soon. I met my first representative of the U.S. Army when I was 15 years old on my high school campus. They were there all the time. They were able to put into my mind a fantasy of what it means to be in the military, a version that could exist only in the imagination of a child. This relationship they built with me was so strong, they convinced me to enlist in the Army before I even started my senior year of high school on my 17th birthday in what is known as the delayed entry program. When I got closer to graduation and had a change of heart and decided I didn't want to join the Army and that I wanted to go to college instead, these recruiters called my parents and told them that I would go to jail if I did not show up because I had signed a legally binding contract. This, of course, was a lie, but I would not find that out until several years later. Instead, I shipped out to boot camp early morning of my 18th birthday, found myself in a platoon in basic training where most of the other soldiers there had been told similar lies by their recruiters and were there under completely false promises. Some didn't even know what job they had. There were several black soldiers in my platoon who thought they had been recruited to the Army basketball team. But then they were in fact forward observers, which is one of the most dangerous jobs in the Army. We didn't even finish boot camp, or we didn't even complete training when the 9/11 attacks happened, and then we all found themselves in a combat zone not too much later, where so many came home in pieces or in a box. And the decision to join is one that I have regretted ever since, but I came to understand that it was not really my decision. I was a child being fed fantasies and lies by an organization notorious for misleading young people to meet recruitment numbers. I was failed not by my parents, who were also lied to, but by my school, who allowed this grooming to take place. They should have never allowed these figures, who to a young kid, look very cool, look like a role model, to begin indoctrinating me at such a young age, making false promises about what Army life could bring, and making me genuinely fear taking any other path. The Portland School Board is now faced with a decision that will expose thousands of children to representatives of the Army. I understand why they're considering it. These JROTC reps are selling them the same bill of goods that they sell misleadingly to our youth. What do they claim to deliver? They say they will increase graduation rates and lower the amount of disciplinary issues in a school. But are those things not the responsibility of the school system in the first place? How is it acceptable that our school board is considering outsourcing those responsibilities to the Army? Let's be clear, the U.S. Army is an institution of killing. Everyone who joins, their job is to kill directly or facilitate killing indirectly.
That's right.
And part of the job is also to be killed yourself. A career of that weight is a decision for adults to make only. And JROTC in our schools will change that to a decision that children can make by giving this clear recruitment Trojan horse access to the minds and the bodies of our students. When our students turn 18, they will have been exposed to 4 years of manipulative pro-military propaganda and fantasy. So I asked the school board, please consider the immense gravity of what you are doing. By introducing this program, there will be countless kids who depend on you for protection, who will end up being indoctrinated by this program to the point where they will join the military, and a number of them will no doubt be left deeply regretting their decision, perhaps losing pieces of their body, their mind, perhaps being killed, perhaps killing themselves. Youth who would not have joined were it not for being exposed to the Army in their schools at age 14. Those are the kids who must be considered in this vote. You know, I take very seriously as a parent how I am able to talk to my children about the dangers of the military, the things I wish I knew when I was 17, something that is around them all the time, enticing them to join through a mass marketing campaign, through now social media influencers employed by the Army, through even Army recruiters assigned to play online gaming and talk to our teenage kids through headsets without their parents knowing. Inviting even more of these clandestine recruitment efforts into our school will make my job and the job of so many other parents that much more difficult. As veterans, and there are several of us here today who have been through it already, we are calling on the school board to reject this proposal and leave the decision to kill and be killed solely in the hands and minds of adults. We call them to do their job of protecting our students by voting no on JROTC. Thank you.